the second time in a row, the Boston Uprising have taken out the LA Valiant in overtime with a 3-2 victory. And with that, they are 9-0, just one game away from a 10-0 perfect stage and that first place spot in our Stage 3 playoffs. And the LA Valiant, they've clinched as well. They're in the playoffs. All you LA Valiant fans, worry not, they're in. We'll see them this Sunday. All right, moving on to our last match of the night. We have the NYXL going up against the Dallas Fuel. Now, New York, they're also still in the running for that first seed if they can win out all their matches this week. And the Dallas Fuel, they've had a roller coaster of a Stage 3, but what better way to end their Stage 3 with a victory over the NYXL? That would be a true high note. So Blizzard Arena, put your Sour Patch Kids Thunder Sticks together one more time, make some noise, and let's go ahead and get into this last matchup with Puckett and the boys at the desk. Give it up, guys, give it up, give it up.
Thank you so much, Willie. Come on, LA. I know you guys are tired. That 5-game series wore us all out, but it's time to get fired up. It's Puckett and the boys. We got Crumbs, we've got the Giant, aka Reinforce, and we got one final matchup today. And if you look at the leaderboards, there's some disparity between these two teams here. 105 map differential. Triple digits here between our #1 team, the New York Excelsior, and our #10, the Dallas Fuel.
New York Excelsior has been so dominant this season. They're firmly on top with 25-3 in their win-loss column. I mean, they are so good at this game. They can even slack in this stage and get away with it.
And if you look at the Stage 3 standings, New York is still challenging Boston for that #1 seed. And remember, that #1 seed gets to choose their opponent in the first round of Sunday's playoffs.
Yeah, take a look at how good New York has been. Even though they have that one loss suffering to Boston, they've played one map less and still have the same map differential. That means that they're just hanging on, hoping that Gladiators take out Boston so that they can clinch that first seed.
In this matchup, we know we're going to see a battle between two great divas. We're talking about Mickey from the Dallas Fuel and, of course, Meko from the New York XL. And we got a chance to sit down with not just those two, but also some of the biggest divas in the game today to tell us why she's such a crucial hero in today's meta.
There is no hero similar to Diva. Diva can be aggressive and support at the same time. Depends on what you want.
Clutch play from Mickey on this Diva, one of the best out there.
또 보통 챔피언들이 못 가는 경우에 디바는 갈 수 있다는 그런 장점을 가지고 있고요. 디바의 부스터는 일단 디바의 이동기고요. 어디든 갈 수 있게 만드는 스킬이죠.
She has a very high impact on the game that's overlooked.
Space making his presence felt in a big way.
It's almost good in every composition and every map.
When I play Diva, okay, when the fight starts there, I can join anywhere.
Nevix brings the house down.
It's fun, especially when you see the kill feed blow up and the crowd goes crazy.
Whoa, Nevix!
The boom boom room.
There's a lot of really good Diva players.
리그에서 가장 디바를 잘한다 생각하는 선수는 일단 런던 스피파의 퓨리 선수고요.
And he almost always eats gravitons and pulse bombs consistently.
Fury with the counter.
Poco is very good as an aggressive Diva.
Poco with 2 more kills on the Diva.
Knowing that you can still hit a fat Diva bomb against really good players can change the whole swing of a fight.
Space though, a big double self-destruct on Silkred and Fisher just after he was brought back into the fight.
It's amazing.
Right now, nothing can replace Diva. No matter what, people are gonna keep playing Diva.
And that's why she's my favorite hero and the only one I can play.
She doesn't have a hammer.
Who would have thought that the hero with the most mobility, an invisible projector that sucks everything, as well as 2 lives, that can kill tanks, that can move anywhere, as Mecca said, is probably a very viable hero.
Machine guns, rockets, you can fly, you got your space vacuum. But Johnny, here at the pro level, what is the key role of the Diva today in the meta?
Well, it depends on what kind of team style you have. You can be an aggressive or you can be a passive Diva. In the clip we just saw, we can see that Meko is one of the best defensive divas, of course, while Mickey on the Dallas Fuel is one of the more aggressive divas, and we can see this in the numbers as well. Because Meko is a bit more passive, he has a chance to deal more damage to the incoming tank. So the big targets like the Winston and Diva, when they jump into the New York backline, Meko will be able to target those down, and he has more damage as a result. So these are 2 different playstyles going into this matchup, and it's going to be exciting to see who of them wins out.
And the silent hero Diva is utilizing your matrix to figure out when it's the right time to use it. What abilities do you need to suck out? Looking for the enemy's ultimates to make sure that, okay, do I have anything that I need to absorb? Specifically Tracer pulse bombs. The Divas that can do this are on the next level.
Not to mention the Diva bomb bombs. You just saw Note combining with the Sombra for some big 4Ks. Keep your eyes on the Diva bombs. And if you're in between games, make sure you check out OverwatchLeague.com because our own Captain Planet has an awesome article about the big bangs. Enough talking. Are you guys ready to meet the teams? Make some noise, Wizard Arena, because it's time to get the final battle started, and it all begins with the team from down south. Give it up for the Dallas Fuel. 6-23 after their first 29 matches. But if you were on Twitter earlier today, you saw Taimu say 7-23 today, boys. Congress.
That cheeky win.
I mean, they haven't really had effect in the lineup. They don't have a solid Tracer player so far, so they have struggled a bit. They have been innovative. They have played triple tank compositions. They have been playing a lot of Orisa, a lot of Roadhog even. So it's going to be exciting to see today what they bring out with these maps specifically, because this is one of the most innovative teams in the league at the moment.
It was such a fun match for me to watch between the Dallas Fuel and the Philadelphia Fusion. That one closer than a lot of people expected, with Dallas taking a map in the series. In that series, I was impressed by Unko. Keep your eyes on that support player.
Very
but
lethal
today, you see a mix-up in the DPS roles. Seagull is back in for game number 1.
Yeah, sure, the team is technically weaker without effect in there, but they're still trying. They're still trying to make sure that they set the foundation for what next stage and next season is going to look like.
I mean, if we see a Seagull, Dragon Blade, 5K, 6K, I think everyone is happy so far. So
The entire Overwatch League fan base, anyone that's ever watched Overwatch or played it online or knows the name Seagull, I think it's going to happen. We'll just have to see what game it comes in. That is a look at the Dallas Fuel. 5K, not likely, though, let's be honest.
Come on!
Because they're going up against the best team in the league. Let's hear it for the New York Excelsior. 28 matches, 3-match losses here in the regular season. A ridiculous run. But currently, they're the number 2 team here in Stage 3.
Yeah, listen, it's no coincidence that Broccoli looks like trees, and it's no coincidence that the New York Excel is the number 1 team, because some of their players are probably the best at their roles for a lot of them. The fact that you've got Jonak, you've got Sabiobi, you've got Pine, Libero, Arc, Meko, and Mano, I mean, all of them are essentially candidates for being the best at the role.
I mean, really, they play so much around Jonak, and they're probably the only team in the league who can do so, because Jonak is so good at the Zenyatta, they can just simply build the team around him. Damage boost the Zenyatta, there he is, the man himself, and he will get the job done. And then you have Sabiobi on the Tracer, and Mono is a fantastic Winston at that.
Now, we've seen a lot of roster swap-ups for the team that are kind of in the lead, playing teams that are lower on the leaderboard. Today, Arc is out of the lineup right now for the New York Excel. They're fielding Animo. Do you think this is strategy, or is Animo better fit for this first map?
I think you want to build a lot of stage experience. It's the new guy in the team, and we know that Arc is a very solid main support player. So you want to bring out Animo, and you want to make sure that he's comfortable on stage if they need to bring him out when comes the season playoffs.
Especially when playoffs come around, a lot of players experience fatigue. If you can have a multitude of players ready to go without getting tired, it's going to make a big difference on Sunday.
Surrounded with some veterans like Sabiobi, and you're going to be fine. That's a look at the starting 6 for the NYXL. Our players are ready. The match is ready to go. Let's send it backstage to our casters. We got Doa and Monty.
Thank you, Chris Puckett. That's right. It's time for Dallas Fuel versus New York Excelsior. On paper, some may say this match is fairly one-sided, but I say nay. Anything can happen in the Overwatch League. And now Monte Cristo, who will
the desk didn't even offer predictions for this one. Did you notice that? Yeah, I think that the predictions would have been very one-sided in this match in favor of the NYXL.
Maybe.
Given the current state of the Dallas Fuel, but their OG is going to be back in today, which is exciting. I have not been a fan of some of their Orisa attacks here on Anubis, and
been a bit puzzling, yeah.
Got a Winston main in right now. I will say I am really excited to see the Dallas Fuel on Nepal. This lineup has been very interesting, using a lot of May and Reaper compositions that have been successful, and I think is a viable strategy on points like Village. So,
hey, well, one thing you can always be sure when you're watching Dallas is you're going to see compositions you may not have been expecting. These guys are entertaining to watch.
And it's been that way forever. And what I've always admired about Envious and the Dallas Fuel is when they don't necessarily have the players for the optimal heroes in a meta, they will get creative and try and execute on some strange compositions. Very difficult to practice against them as a result.
Very true. NYXL with a pretty standard defense getting set up here. Libero on that Junkrat. Safe he'll be back with the Widowmaker. The trap has been set.
And the spray not set this time on the other side, so They're going to put the mine up on the ceiling. And I'm interested to see what happens with the New York Excel this week because obviously they're still hoping for a Boston loss to take the #1 seed, but they play Dallas and Shanghai this week. And you can see with Animo and Janice in, this is different than what we had seen when they played against Seoul last week. It seems like they are eager to probably hide some strategy, so I expect we'll see some pretty standard compositions like we see right now. Nothing too exciting about this. Orisa, Widowmaker, Junkrat, low ground defense, what we see on Anubis all the time.
Yeah, it's going to be the Tracer Genji dive coming out for Dallas. They will be backing off a little bit. Looks like Dallas going left. Pretty standard dive coming out of them. See what they can manage with it. Anyway, OG just taking a jump to look around things. Ooh, Libero catches AKM with that trap. And it seems like, when you run this comp, somebody's going to get caught at some point, whether it's the Genji or the Tracer. Yeah, he's level. Libero from above. Some damage. He's in a bit of trouble, though. But Mickey, he gets demacked. That's not what Dallas wants.
No, it isn't. And this is... What do you say about Anubis A attack these days? The compositions have been so figured out on defense that a lot of the time, especially when you're trying to run Tracer Genji on attack, it's waiting until you have those ultimates. You can't really expect to make the first attack work, which is why it was so impressive when we saw San Francisco win on their first attack earlier today off of that great dive. Yep. Most of the time, it's going to be trying to navigate around the traps and the mines, the Junkrat spam coming through, and that's why. Yeah, another death on the AKM. It's just so hard to get through some of those chokes sometimes with the DPS. When you don't have a lot of HP, you get punished pretty hard by the rat. Yeah, and unfortunately, even though AKM died outside of the choke point because everyone was bottled up over here, no chance for a resurrection. And now the numbers of the Dallas Fuel begin to thin further. Yeah, well, they brought Seagull back. They were without their DPS for a while. They may be without more as the tire comes in without the supports. Are where the Dallas Fuel find themselves right now. That hurts. It's a slow grind on Anubis attack. And sure is. You can see Dallas Fuel has one ultimate up right now, but they really are going to need something like the Dragon Blade or the Primal Rage to make some space off the point. New York has gotten by just with this dropping of a Rift Tire so far, and they've already burned half the time off the clock. Yeah. Dallas is coming up on some ultimates, though, so in the next push or two, maybe they'll be able to make a really solid run at it. Or jump at it. This is a dive comp, I suppose. Here we go. They're coming in now. Harry Hook pops that Valkyrie to try to keep everybody up. Savior will be just free firing, though. Ooh, he's got Unko kind of where he wants him. Unko's not going to be able to join his team. Mickey down, though. Well, his mech is out of commission anyway. Libero gets that one. Unko survives. The Savior will be forced off the high ground. Now he has to run away. Didn't get up on the high ground. That's a problem. AKM kills Jonak, too. Savior will be down. Dallas finding an opportunity. Seagull trying to continue that with the blade. There's the reflect. Trying to cut away at the Orisa now. Janice falls. And Dallas with a chance here. It's only Meko and Jonak on the point right now. Yeah, they're going to use the self-destruct, but Meko's going to fall before it can do much of anything. OGE takes the hit because he knows he just needs to kill Meko. It'll get the rest of his team the point faster. Good call from OGE, although he does spawn pretty far away now at the original spawn point. Yeah, I mean, he can catch up. It will be a little bit slower than Dallas would prefer, but hey, they've got 5 minutes in the bank right now. They took A, so they've got something going at AKM. Down again. Libero seems to have like Tracer tracking grenades today. Now it has to be said that was a bit of a greed from New York because Jonak was getting pummeled by OGE and decided not to use his Transcendence during that attack. And then the cost of getting him back up was Animo dying, which means that would have been a bad idea to use his Transcendence with only 2 of his teammates remaining on the point. So a little bit of a miscommunication there from New York. I think they could have dedicated one more support ultimate and maybe
no! Reaper caught in the trap. Libero finishing him off. Sabielby gets Harry Hook, so Dallas back to the drawing board again. This push is going nowhere. NYXL just looking for a few stagger picks just to try to make things harder for Dallas, but looks like that's going to be... Oh, they're going to get AKM again, okay. I mean, AKM's been playing a lot of the Reaper. This guy, of course, has never really been a Tracer player, and certainly hasn't been training on Tracer with effect on this roster, who is not with the team at the moment. So they've been trying to figure out alternatives that AKM is a little better on, but I think playing against Tracer Junkrat with a Reaper is so hard. Even if you close that gap, they have escape tools, and you have to make it all the way to the point through the Junkrat spam. Can be quite challenging. Yep. A lot of ults on Dallas to work with here. Both support ultimates. Seagull's got his blade. Mickey's got his self-destruct. OGE has the Primal Rage as of now, too. And they've got Janice a little bit low. Janus in trouble. Libero down. AKM with an early kill. Janus gets back to his team. And that's the go button for Dallas to jump in with the Valkyrie. Gonna try to use that one first. Valkyrie used on the New York side too. A wealth of ultimates at their disposal as well. Now the Riptire coming in. Libero looking for kills. He's gonna settle for the D-Mech on the Mickey. Not bad. I'd be happy with that one. Dallas still trying to grind this one out though. AKM had to back away. Mickey down now. Dallas the 5v6. The Death Blossom. AKM booped away. Gets the kill on the save. He'll be first though. And Dallas can still keep pushing this.
And it's a mind game right now. Seagull's been holding this Dragon Blade, but Jonak's been holding the Trance. No one is willing to push the ult button right now. And
well, that solves that question though. Seagull not able to use the blade as he's dead. Going back to spawn. And Dallas is out.
that whole fight was Jonak and Seagull holding on to their ultimates and a mind game of who was going to use theirs first. Nobody bites in the end. And
oh, Sableby getting aggressive here, man. Trying to take out Unko. He had some help from his tanks, but man, that was bold.
The rest of New York going to fall back right now. Meko needs to swap to Orisa briefly just to get his mech back. And they are going to be playing with double support ultimates on the defense. Seagull still with this Dragon Blade. If they could trade the Dragon Blade out for a support ult or two right now, Dallas Fuel will be in much better shape on their next push.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sableby, ooh man, he's got that pulse bomb locked and loaded. Trying to get in the back lines. Animo uses the Valkyrie. Oh, Seagull down right as he pulled out the blade. That ultimate got nothing for Dallas. And the Transcendence keeps everyone safe anyway, I suppose. I say nothing, but Jonak did use that Transcendence, so despite Seagull dying without getting to take a single swing, they did get the ultimate out of Jonak.
Yes, they did, and now they're going to have their own Trance Primal Rage and Self-Destruct to get onto the point this time. They can enter with the Primal Rage if they choose to make it easier for AKM to get a position on the point. So as bad as that looked, it really wasn't the end of the world if you are the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah. Not a fun moment for Seagull personally, I'm sure, but it's a team effort, you know?
Certainly is. And they're trying to play around this Riptire right now. Slowly, they're making it onto the point, but Sableby is going to get Seagull. He actually attached the Pulse Bomb onto OGE.
Whoops. Seagull res, but Harry Hook down. He pays the price for being in place for a little bit too long. And Sableby's just making the backline of Dallas miserable here on B. Makes Seagull a little bit miserable too. Has to recall out of there though. Tank support comes in. And NYXL back to the defensive setup here. They've got that Riptire too, so they can really just keep delaying this, and it's only 30 seconds now for Dallas on their attack run.
Yeah, OGE is still at half HP. He can get some more healing. Harry Hook will hit his Valkyrie as a result of that. So now Dallas Fuel coming in with numerous weapons.
Yep. The Blossom of Death possibly incoming. Oh no, but Seagull going out early. Transcendence used by both teams here. No, Jonak just gets his. Oh, the tire shot out of the air by AKM. Got a bit too close to the Reaper. Now he's getting juggled a bit by Janus. Can they even get to the point? Looks like they barely do get there, but they need to stay there. Unko down, early kill for Libero. There's the self-destruct coming in for Dallas. AKM uses that Death Blossom, gets 2 kills out of it, and the ensuing damage onto Libero. Harry Hook brings Unko back into the fight. So Dallas with a shot here. They just need to handle the respawns. Got to get out of the way of that self-destruct for now. Meko doesn't get back in. Seagull ready for him. And AKM shoots down Janus as well. But still not even a tick taken by Dallas. Janus back into the fight, and here comes a blade for Seagull. The last one didn't work out on Jonak. He's ready. And 2 blades, no kills for Seagull. Dallas struggling to stay on this point, and I think New York have it all but wrapped up on the defense here. AKM the last man standing. OGE trying to push his way in there. Primal Rage, he can keep it going for a little bit longer, but he'll go down. And that is it. New York Excelsior. Pretty good hold on B.
Yeah, that kill onto Seagull, huge, but what really was impressive about New York's defense was the first kill. We're gonna take a look at that Dragon Blade shutdown first from Jonak. We'll see the end of it, which was spectacular in its own right. As he comes out of the trance, Seagull says, all right, I've been waiting for this all attack round right now, but there you go. And this is what makes Jonak so dangerous. It's not that he can hit a lot of these volleys, it's that he can hit all these headshots at close range.
And I'm telling you, man, his glasses get a little bit bigger each time we see him.
Yeah.
Even last time, it's true.
He switches them out every week.
Nobody
slightly larger every time.
Nobody warms my bloodthirsty Zenyatta heart like Jonak does, though. Getting the kills on the Genji when he pulls the blade out. Nothing feels better.
I mean, both of the Seagull kills were huge. The first one that started that engagement, because they got the Seagull kill early, the brilliance of that Riptire at the end, it got destroyed. But the thing is, they knew Fuel had both support ults and was going to trance into where Seagull's body was to res him. And what the Riptire did was it zoned out the Harry Hook on the Mercy, so they couldn't actually get the resurrection done onto Seagull, and then it was just a shorthanded attack from the Dallas Fuel. And to start off the fight, that is exactly what you want to do. And New York is just so tight when it comes to these communication, understanding enemy ults, how they're going to play around those ults, and then denying them opportunities to play in an optimal fashion.
That's right. Seagull, of course, with that trap spray. Probably not going to leave it there, but it's been something we've seen a lot more Junkrats doing lately, using it as sort of a fake out.
Yeah,
Seagull
Seagull was one of the first ones to do this, too.
Yeah.
He was one of the people who really brought this into Overwatch League, and Seagull's Junkrat is still very good. Throughout all of the DPS switching that has happened with the Dallas Fuel, I think one of their biggest strengths right now is the Seagull Junkrat.
Well, they're just trying to put a little bit of damage at every part of the choke there, so no matter who comes through there, they're going to have a way to capitalize on it with some of the damage from AKM or Seagull's Junkrat. Ryan activated. And here we go, Libero down already. Mickey pays for it though, is D-Mech. D-Life save will be right there. So it's a 1-for-1 already, and the res comes in for Animo.
And that's not how you do it. You can't go that deep in alone as a D.Va. You have to control this room using your Junkrat. And the D.Va in the choke point. Mickey oversteps, and now they're going to be in a tough situation.
That's a 65, and that's a big problem for Dallas Fuel. Sabiel B around the corner here. They're going to take the low ground. Whoa, Seagull does find Animo. That's a pretty big pick for Dallas. That kind of bails them out here a little bit.
Mickey's back right now, so they're trying to clean up the kills before Animo can come back.
Yeah, that's right. Libero down. Pulse Bomb comes in onto Unko. Sabiel B gets one, but his teammates are dropping. Meko gets demeched. There goes Seagull. So New York kind of grinding this one out. Seagull, OGE, AKM, the last one's on the point for Dallas. Mickey gets back in, gets demeched immediately though. Down in Mini D.Va now. Jonak on the high ground. No real opposition towards him. Just that shield away. And Sayubi's going to get behind it. And so despite the losses, despite the trading, New York Excelsior on track to take A.
The XL had no business winning that. Honestly, the Dallas Fuel are so scattered across the point right now that they can't provide proper support, over-committing to some of those small rooms, and they're taking the skirmish, which is the only way that New York XL are actually going to come out ahead.
Yeah. And you don't want to skirmish against players like Sabiel B and Jonak. I mean, come on. Those guys have been winning 1v1s easily all season long.
Absolutely. So coming back in, Libero to be on the Widowmaker now, trying to take some picks against Seagull and AKM, who are playing on those low ground heroes.
Yeah, that's right. Bring the SMG onto the tanks there. Pops back up again. Fighting it out with OG when you've got the healing, man. Why not? Meanwhile, the Primal Rage from Janice on the point as New York tries to get that single tick that's going to win on the map. Tried to push people. Back into the point. For an easier kill. Rejoins his team. Here comes a Riptire. Seagull wants this one to come up big, but he doesn't get the damage. Wow, blew it up just a little bit too early. I thought he had that one on a Libero too, but didn't quite reach. Transcendence from Dallas, trying to keep the team safe here. They are kind of bottled up in the caverns though. Mickey on his own. Gonna get D-Max. New York on the point. They've used their own Transcendence too now. It's a 6v5. OGE and AKM in the back lines, and they're just gonna get reverse dove by New York. Finished off pretty easily. Libero gets a kill onto Seagull as well.
And John is so close to another Primal Rage. They're going to try and pull this off, and they're just going to zone him out with the self-destruct. No one can get there.
All they needed was one ticket. With so much time on the clock, it was going to be tough to hold anyway. New York Excelsior, though, taking a pretty quick map one.
And nice play by DXL, the intelligent shot calling that we've come to expect from this team. That is why they are in the pole position of the Overwatch League.
Yep, pretty much. Well, New York, arguably with one of the easiest weeks in the league here. Match against Dallas, match against Shanghai. We'll see if they can close out their stage into the playoffs strong. Good starts so far against the Fuel. Game 2 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. Omen by HP,
the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
In the debut season of the Overwatch League, the best teams on the planet battle for supremacy, and stars become legends. More than 100 players have joined the league, but only one will be named Overwatch League MVP, presented by T-Mobile. Cast your vote for the MVP on Twitter using the hashtag OWLMVP and their battle tag. Your votes, along with the Overwatch League broadcast team, will determine who reigns supreme. Let your voice be heard and be a part of esports history. Help us choose the Overwatch League MVP, presented by T-Mobile.
Welcome back to the Overwatch League. NYXL with a 1-0 lead over Dallas. But how about that T-Mobile League MVP, man? Who's your choice right now? Who's your front runner?
I bet you can guess.
Who?
Okay, so...
Well, I'm going to guess. Okay. It's actually probably not somebody in this match, right?
It's not.
Okay. Does it start with an F?
Yes.
All right. Is the last part of it Isher?
Yes.
Is it Fissure?
It is.
Yes, I got it right. All right.
Obviously, he's one of the many candidates, including, we'll talk about Jonak, I'm sure, in a second.
Sure, that's my pick.
That's your pick.
Shocking,
And we do have to talk about, of course, MVP is always an interesting topic to debate. Do they have to be on the top team in the league, or is it merely the most influential player?
Yeah.
I tend to go for, they have to at least be a pretty good team, but I think if you look at how much Fissure has changed the LA Gladiators, he's been the most impactful trade by a large margin. Still in the running for top tank in this league. Definitely top 3, probably top 2 tank in this league. So I think Fissure, for me right now, would be well up on that list.
well deserved. Well, for me, of course, it's Jonak. I mean, you talk about a player that's kind of transformed his team around him. Jonak, like, no team plays around a Zen like New York plays around Jonak. He's influenced other teams to want to try to play like that, but they can't because nobody's as good as Jonak is on this hero. And so for me, like, obviously he's my front runner for MVP right now. I can't see that really changing in the future, but hey, you never know. We got a whole nother stage of play to do, and we've got a whole nother 3 maps in this series. Let's take a look at the subs going into map number 2. Taimu coming in for Seagull on the Dallas field. And over on the NYXL side, Pine coming in for Libero as we look ahead to our hybrid map, Blizzard World.
And I think this makes a lot of sense. If you're the Dallas Fuel, Taimu is going to be the best Widowmaker you have on the roster right now. So on a Widowmaker heavy map where you can play Widow on attack, Widow on defense, Widow all the time, Blizzard World is a great map for that. We may also see him in on Route 66 for the same reason.
Sure.
And then also you can have Mickey, of course, playing the Junkrat. Widow Junkrat is pretty much always appropriate. It is going to be a little bit weird potentially on attack, but certainly a strong choice on defense.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen a surprising amount of attack Junkrat in the matches lately, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the map. I do think it's a little bit tougher to play given the approaches that you have and the fact that you have to get onto that point eventually.
How Dallas feel? They're going to attack Blizzard World first. Of course, they are the away team. And Mickey back over the Diva. Dallas Field going for the Widow Tracer duel. Taimu on the Widowmaker, of course, as we expected here. AKM on the Tracer. Meanwhile, on the NYXL side, Pine, the conflicting Widowmaker with Taimu. Sabielby on the Tracer.
Yeah, Pine playing low ground right now, and they're just trying to make some room slowly onto the point. Taimu not going to be attempting to grapple up into any of the high ground positions too quickly.
Oh, Pine draws first blood in the Widow v Widow. The res is there, and Uncle finds the kill to Sabielby, actually. So Dallas with a chance here. They've got the advantage. OGE down, though. That advantage evaporating almost before I get the sentence out of my mouth. Unko kills Jonak, actually. Janice takes down Mickey, so it's a brawl right now. New York's still trying to hold this high ground, but eventually they need to jump down. They're going to do that behind Janice and his shield. Mickey, oh, he gets back in the mech somehow. How in the world did he live through that? Gonna get demeched again immediately, but I'm just surprised he got that far.
Yeah, AKM couldn't really get all the way back behind the point where we see a lot of these Tracers flanking. Mickey will be taken out a little bit late and staggered.
Now, it's actually really interesting that Unko killed Jonak in the Zen v Zen because league stats-wise, Jonak is actually the most deadly Zen v Zen player, and Unko is actually the least deadly Zen v Zen. So, Unko bucket
a rarity, a rarity.
Adjusting the stats.
Pine holding on to the infosight right now. Everyone is behind the point for the Dallas Fuel, waiting for an opportunity to come through. Taimu trying to take that point, but
took a shot first. Had to be careful. Pine backing away, lost a little bit of health. Unko down. AKM gets Jonak. Tracers finding their respective Zenyatta targets. Harry Hook low. Janice gonna finish him off. And now New York pushing Dallas back again.
And it's the little things about New York that you really appreciate. So even though no one died there, what you saw was actually Meko covering Pine in that duel with the defensive matrix from behind. So they knew exactly where Taimu was, and they were just trying to help him win, get that headshot that he needed. It didn't end up happening, but still, the setups are just so intelligent from the side of the XL.
Man, and Pine just seems to have Taimu's number here so far in Blizzard World. That's 3 duels, 4 duels, and they've all gone Pine's way. Harry Hook there with the res yet again. But, I mean, I'd say the fear of Pine is in Taimu now.
Yeah, and he's sitting there, too, with Jonak, Animo, and Meko all on the high ground. This is a big Pine pocket that we're seeing.
Sure enough, the Pine pocket.
The Pine pocket is in action for the NYXL.
Yikes. Sabielby. Pulse bomb at the ready. Sneaking around, and of course, they do have those Widowmaker ultimates, so both teams being a bit cautious right now. Sabielby comes around the corner. Gonna follow up with Janice. They're gonna get the Transcendence out of Unko. He's gonna just try to jet over to the point and support his team, but they're not gonna get much out of that Zenyatta ultimate. That was just intimidated right out of him. And oh, Harry Hook gets stuck. Sabielby finds one with the pulse bomb there.
Yeah, wall gets stuck, but Harry Hook too low. Can't run away from it in time. And now Sabielby to be coming back around to try and clean this up. Jonas with the Primal Rage inside the building. Is enough to take out Unko. Taimu cornered outside of the choke point, and he's not going to last.
That's a nasty stagger with Dallas down to 30 seconds remaining on their attack. They may not even be able to take point A here. They have to dig deep.
By the way, just Pine things. Who does this, by the way? He's waiting for Taimu to respawn.
Yep.
So he knows he has a window where he can take an aggressive peek. Maybe he gets lucky.
Yeah, why not, you know? Takes a chunk out of Mickey. Now back to Taimu again. Taimu low health. If that would have been damage boosted, that would have been it. Pine back on the high ground now. Trying to take some chunks out of the Winston shield. He's going to get dove. Sableby gets a kill into AKM. Tracer down for Dallas. They got to get back to the point. Somebody's got to get there. Mickey there just in time to keep overtime going. Valkyrie from Arios to try to keep him healed. Echo holding onto the point right now. New York trying to stagger their defenses here. They've been pushed back a little bit. They're going to give Dallas some room as Mecco is down. They may just give this one up. I feel like you got to go in and contest this again, though.
I mean, Dallas has 6 people on the point. Pine tried to pop the Infrasight. They're aggressively peeking to see what they can do, and that's going to be a trance.
Here we go, going into Transcendence. A response from Unko for his as well. Genesis Sableby go down, though, and Dallas wins the fight. They'll get the payload moving, and they'll come out with a little advantage on point B to set up a more aggressive attack position.
Yeah, Taimu had the Infrasight waiting as well, so Pine had flanked all the way around to the opposite side of the point, but with Taimu having the Infrasight for when they engage, knew where the Widowmaker was, so there wasn't going to be any kind of flanking 2 or 3K like we see sometimes from Pine.
I mean, it was a bit cocky for New York to try to defend at the end there when you're
definitely
flying in with your Zen, waving his arms around, and you're like, all right, here's where we fight. I don't know.
And it was really just a distraction to get Pine into position too. But that's how Pine plays. That's how Pine plays. You have to take it, the good with the bad with Pine. Sometimes that's going to shut you down. You're going to use a lot of resources for nothing at all. Sometimes he's going to hit some sort of nutty 4K and you're going to win a game.
Very true. Taimu with some more room to breathe now on the Widowmaker. Well, he's got Sableby behind him. Oh, and Pine in front of him. Didn't even see that one coming. Pine with yet another Widow v Widow headshot. Now New York on the aggressive defense here. Mickey gets demeched. Gonna go and use the self-destruct to get it back again, but he can't. He's back to spawn already.
OG late with the Primal Rage just to get out of this sticky situation. AKM, the exit kill courtesy of Jonas.
They're gonna try to keep OGE. Okay, they nearly finished him off, but Ariok was there for the healing. So Dallas slowed down again. Less than a minute remaining on their point B attack, and point B on Blizzard World is not a point you take in a hurry.
And we're going to have dueling Infrasights right now. Taimu popped his as they came in, but Pine responds with his in turn, and that's just going to be further delays here. Payload has made it about 50% of the way through Pylon Terrace, and not much time to get it 100% of the way there.
True enough. Oh, GA down. Pine picks him out of the air. Now just 30 seconds for Dallas. They've got to regroup. Ooh, they can't lose Harry Hook here, but they will. No choice. Sableby finds him. It's a Tracer v Tracer now, but Jonak there to bail him out. Taimu does get Sableby, though. New York with a couple nice staggered kills to make it really tough for Dallas to get back in this one. The res even comes in, Animo protected, as he brings Sableby back to the fight. Less than 10 seconds. Dallas needs to go for it.
They're going to try. Coming in on the payload once again. Sableby on the flank. As a pulse bomb, overtime will be triggered. He's going to go in and try and go after a support. Unko forced to pop trance again.
Yep, that's right. AKM finds Pine, though. So 1 kill in favor of the Dallas field. People have to say on the payload, that was dangerous for a second. Jonak kills Unko. Deadly in the Zen v Zen, as we did say. Animo brings Pine back to life. Self-destruct coming in. No kills for New York out of that one. Mecco back in the mech. The payload's still moving. Pine in a little bit of trouble here. Low health, but he gets away. Dodges the slaps of OGE in that Primal Rage. Pine finds Taimu yet again. And Harryhook in trouble. Can they finish him? Sableby can. AKM and Taimu both down as well. One more Pulse Bomb to go. That one got eaten up, I believe. Meanwhile, Pulse Self-Destruct comes in, but nobody's on the payload, and that's going to be where it stops for Dallas.
Mickey throwing out that self-destruct, but he was the last one left, so after he exited the mech, easy to clean up, and that will be 1 point taken by the Dallas Fuel as we head into the NYXL attack.
All right, so New York Excelsior in a situation where if they take point A with any reasonable amount of time on the time bank, they should be able to push it at least that far through B.
So looking at this, it looks like we probably will see Pine on a Widowmaker attack. Unko looks very stressed out right now.
I mean, it's been such a tough season. I'm not just talking about like Stage 3. The whole way through has been a rough go for Dallas Fuel. It hasn't been often that they've been able to actually field their full team, even now.
Yeah.
Effect in Korea. So, you know, you can talk about the problems they have with synergy, with individual play and all that, but you've had so many people on Dallas playing roles they weren't intended to play initially. You practice with one guy, then he's gone the next week. Like, this team has never really had any breathing room to kind of come together.
Yeah, exactly. And the expectations have been so wildly different. Seagull spent months training up on the off-tank position, and then now with Rascal departing the team, has had to play more projectile DPS once again. AKM onto the Tracer role, a role he never intended to be on, with Effect on this roster. So it has been really rough for the Dallas Fuel, and you do have to feel for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Dallas Fuel.
Getting all the Dallas feels in this game.
You do. Especially if you're a fan of Envious back in the day, which, you know, who wasn't? It's tough to see it at this point, but yeah, it's only one season. So, New York Excelsior on the attack now, trying to get themselves a 2-0 lead here on Blizzard World. Dallas Fuel on the defense, going for Junkrat Tracer. Taimu opting not to take the Widow v Widow this time around. Pine, though, happy to grab the Widowmaker one more time.
Taimu does flex onto the Junkrat on occasion, and we will see it once more here. They're trying to flank around right now. Everyone going on the right-hand side for the XL, except for Sabilby, who is lurking on the opposite flank.
Oh, man, you have to be so careful. OG really, really low right now. Jumps out, has that shield just in time. Otherwise, Pine would have finished him. And meanwhile, Pine just kind of free firing at anybody who comes within range.
I mean, there's no pressure on him right now.
No, not at all.
They're trying to play the point, the Dallas Fuel, and that's not going to work. Mickey demaxed on the point already.
Yep, that's right. Mickey chasing Pine down, though. Gets a kill there.
He actually did run up onto the high ground and try to take out Pine in the mini diva form.
He did it, man. He's been a great diva for a long time, and every once in a while those plays come through, although you don't usually see it on the mini diva. Either way, New York forced back.
Has some good ults up left up for the Dallas Fuel as well. Taimu already with the Riptire. Both support ultimates up. We are going to check this. And yes,
Mortal Kombat!
Was Mickey taking this duel with Pine on the flank and winning.
I love it. And that's got to get the morale back up a little bit. To have a situation like that. New York on the attack again. Like, all right, Pine, don't die to the mini diva this time. Well met. Here we go. Sabilby with a pulse bomb, ready to go. Mickey comes up, waiting for that defensive matrix. Don't want to get that ultimate eat. Under pressure, though. Really wants to target the tanks here. Taimu's Riptire shot out of the air by Pine, though. And now Sabilby all over him. Has to be careful, though. Recalls back again. A little bit too much pressure onto Sabilby. Now looking for a health pack here. Finds AKM instead, though. Got the healing just in time. Pine got the kill into Unko, too. Now Mickey in trouble. Gets VMech. Pine shoots him out of the air, rather. There goes OGE. Now New York's starting to put together a pretty good push here. Just Harry Hook and Taimu left to try to defend A.
And they're not going to be able to put up much of a defense at all.
Don't think so.
Jonas makes it back in the nick of time to help them zone the rest of the Fuel off the point, make it so that it's very unpalatable to attempt a retake. And now I'm going to be looking for some more shots here as the payload begins to move towards B.
Taimu with a bit of revenge on the Pine there. Getting a little bit greedy, wanted to get the finishing shot as the windshield shield went down, but Taimu was lurking around the corner. NYXL, though, do have that payload moving, and remember, they only needed about halfway through point B to win this map.
Tracer duels commencing in the back lines right now, and John's going to come back to join them.
Now Taimu falls simultaneously.
Oh my.
Everybody just gets wrecked. Headshots all over the place. Sabilby, Jonak, Pine. It's headshot mania.
Wow, so this is just going to keep on unabated towards the end of the map. Can they even get there in time, though? I don't think they can.
I don't think so, no. That is it. NYXL with a 2-0 lead in this series. Pretty overwhelming win on that team fight. That's going to be an easy map for them.
I mean, it's just a ridiculous team wipe, right? OGE was jumping in to try and get to the payload at the end, but he was sniped out of midair by a damage-boosted Jonak, so never had a chance to reach that point. Just a slow roll to victory, cruising down the streets of Blizzard World.
That's right. Well, the Widow v. Widow certainly going Pines' way that time around. Halftime when we come back, and then another map. Don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. No surprises here. Jonak and the New York Excel are taking care of business so far. They're up 2-0 over the Dallas Fuel at the break. Oof. Yeah, that one's real nice. Put that blade down, Seagull. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Puckett. We got Crumbs. We've got Reinforce. And so far, New York Excelsior living up to all the hype, guys. #1 team on the overall standings. They haven't dropped a map. In fact, barely giving up points today.
You can't say that when there is over 100 map differential, they will not give points to the opposing team. So that's what they're doing. If you don't pressure Jonak, he pops up.
We'll take a look at some of these kills coming in from both squads, most of them from the darker blue. It's Anubis that we opened up on basically all day long here in the Blizzard Arena. And we always enjoy watching Sabiolbi. It was Libero on the Junkrat, though, causing some of the biggest noise.
We didn't see any offensive Orisa today for the side of Dallas Fuel. Instead, we bring in OG on the Winston. And we tried to
What a relief.
Some Genji and some Reaper dives coming out of Dallas Fuel. But I don't think the team chemistry and the teamwork was really there. And so we saw Seagull Blade when OG or Mickey wasn't ready to back him up. And just in general, New York just has this incredible team synergy that just had the advantage in this fight.
You know, there's a big difference when these two teams come in today. New York has something to play for, whereas the Dallas Fuel are mostly there to make sure that the synergy is there, that they play well, that things look good. There's really not playoff implications on their line.
And then we're on Blizzard World, of course. Pine just shows us what he can do. Insane Widowmaker coming out from him. And really, he wasn't really contested throughout this game unless Mickey went forward, a baby diva and a pistol gun. So overall, Blizzard World was pretty one-sided as well.
Can we talk a little bit about this combo of Saviolbi and Pine? What better DPS combos are there in the league? Is it SBB and Libero?
I like that better.
It's so sad when you say that, because I want to say Prophet and Birdring, but Birdring's wrist from inside of London Spitfire, of course.
Yeah.
Birdring's wrist hasn't been that good as of recent. He's had some wrist injury, and so typically I'd want London Spitfire's DPS duo, Prophet and Birdring, to be up there, but it isn't, and instead, I mean, you could make a good case for Saviolbi and Pine, for sure.
I like that. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. New York's got the best DPS.
I like the Libero combination better. More flexibility, not so much only hit scan. So
I want to hear Monty's best DPS duo back on the cast.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Start thinking.
We'll check in with the casters on that. I feel he's got some pretty decent players as well. A lot here in the Overwatch League. For the Dallas Fuel, though, they do seem to be mixing things up. Not a whole lot of triple tank so far. Johnny, what do you want to see in the second half from this squad that is clearly still looking to find their footing?
Well, we're going to Nepal, right? And we've seen Seagull in the past on the May.
Yeah.
Bring out the May on Nepal Village. Do
Maybe.
it.
I'm ready.
As I said before, they are the most innovative team in the league right now because Effect isn't here, they don't have a solid Tracer player, and so they're forced to mix around and play around a little bit. So Seagull, bring out the May, but please.
What's their old flair? That's what we knew the Dallas Fuel for, so I think it's really nice to see them finally go back to just experimenting and trying new strategies that can surprise opponents.
Do we want to see Taimu in this series?
Oh yeah, I think we should do so. We're going to Route 66 as well, and Route 66 is a pretty good Widowmaker map, so bring out Taimu. He didn't really stand a chance versus Pine on Blizzard World, but we know Taimu.
Winston.
That too.
I got a whole lot of...
I'm a Winston player, and you should see me in Widowmaker Deathmatch.
He hits every 10th shot. All right, Taimu, we saw him a little bit. We'll see him some more, hopefully. I want to see the Pine versus Taimu McCree battle on Nepal. Probably not going to happen. Johnny, give me the prediction. Does New York get their first 4-0 this week?
Yes.
Do they get 2 4-0s this week?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Does New York steal the #1 seed from Boston this week?
No. I'm sorry, Gladiators. I'm sorry, LA. It's not happening.
All right, we're going to see how the rest of this one plays out. 2 more maps to go. It's all New York, but hey, Dallas, let's make it weird, man. Let's close out today with another Game 5. I'm ready. That's going to do it for us here at the desk.
Weird
We'll
movie
see you
in
for
reverse
Nepal
sweep.
in just a few.
The hype is real, the shoutcasters are ready, but to choose the first ever T-Mobile Overwatch League MVP, they need your help. Cast your vote now on Twitter with hashtag OWLMVP and your player's battle tag.
NYXL currently hold the 2-0 lead over the Dallas Fuel in our final match of the night. Of course, the New York XL trying to debo that first seed away from the Boston Uprising by putting themselves in the best position possible. And if they're gonna do so, they're gonna do so off the back of their great DPS play with players like Sapiel B. And while we're on the subject of him, for all our Twitch All Access viewers out there, tonight's AMA is with Sapiel B. So if you have any questions you want to ask him, like how he keeps his hair so wavy or how much he really loves his waifu, tonight is the night to ask him those questions after the matches are complete. But anyways, guys, New York, they are up 2-0. Can the Dallas Fuel make this thing respectable? Let's find out right now and get back into the action with our casters, Monty and Doe.
Thank you, Malik. You know, it's true. Nobody has rocked the single part like
center
Sableby
part.
has. Center part. It is one single part. That's true.
That's true.
I did it in 1996 at least. That's
I
right.
do. You can ask him on the AMA how he creates such a beautiful center part with his hair. But to answer Reinforce's question at
Go
the
like
desk about best DPS, I think it's really hard to say. So best DPS duo, I actually might go in current form with Munchkin and Fleta because they have been one of the best things about Seoul in this slump, and they've been holding their own even on a team that has been struggling. But the thing is that when we look at DPS, we often see DPS by committee. We'll continue this thought in a moment, Noah.
Yeah, there's subs. Coco coming in for OGE on the Dallas Fuel, and Seagull dropping back in again. Taimu sitting on the bench for this map. And we're going towards Nepal, our control map. Meanwhile, on NYXL, Mano coming in for Janice. That's right. It's Mano time. And also Libero coming in for Pine.
Expected on this map.
Yep.
But as I was saying, most teams, as we go on to longer in Overwatch, are now DPS by committee. DPSs are becoming more specialized, more freely able to rotate in and out map to map, in which case, right now, I do think it's NYXL, and I do think that London, if Birdring gets back in the mix with Hureg's increase in performance, they could take that slot as well. But it's about getting Birdring back into his old form. Overall this season, best DPS duo, if we can include everything, I think is still Birdring and Prophet, but we've got another stage to play.
True enough. Yeah, they're going to have to make a bit of progress back, I think, before they're in that conversation again, or at least we're going to have to see Birdring again before we're in that conversation. Meanwhile, let's have a conversation about Seagull on May. This is something we've seen quite a bit of from the Dallas Field lately. Seagull, of course, has been a well-known May player for a long time.
Exactly the same strategy. I think this strategy is absolutely great on Village. You can control the points so well. You can cut people off as they try and come in. And as you know, Doa, Seagull has long been one of the better May players in Overwatch League.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so hard to approach this. They just wall it off, make you come around the other side instead. And they've got the Reinhardt shield to block off both sides of the point at the same time.
And Mano pretty low, actually. He needs to take a breather for a second. Samuel B gets Coco, though. The Reinhardt down. Dallas Field buying themselves some more time with that May wall. Now they've got Libero to worry about, who already has the barrage. Crazy enough. Whoa, Samuel B gets Unko with the pulse bomb. And New York coming back in a hurry here. Oh, there's a nice headshot from Seagull on the Samuel B, but it's not going to help as New York able to flip this thing around. 25% or so. 26 for Dallas.
And you know New York was ready for this because of how they're playing.
Oh, sure.
You'll notice that nobody was going into that point except for Samuel B, who can rewind out. So they're not being able to be caught inside the point itself by a May wall where they're going to be completely isolated and destroyed. Instead, they play the patient game, poke in until Samuel B can pick somebody off, and then get a pulse bomb to finish off one of the tanks. It's very transparent that Dallas is going to run this strategy right now, and they're going to try and get back on the point one more time.
Yep, that's the plan. Libero coming in with the barrage. Oh, it's dirty. He's got nearly everybody. That's two. Oh, it was going to be a lot more if Coco wasn't there with the shield. Tries to get out. Seagull drops a blizzard. Not going to really catch anybody in that, though. Just going to buy some time with the ice block, but now Save will be right there to finish him off. Did I say that? I meant Seagull was going to finish off Save will be yet again. He just can't seem to get the finishing blow.
Every fight so far, Seagull is just reaching out of the grave and dragging Samuel B down with him.
From the icy depths, I smited thee with my icicle to the dome. It is fun. And May's only going to get better, too, with the changes coming in. Being able to AoE slow people is pretty nice. Meanwhile, Coco Low can't even get to the point. And Dallas in trouble before the fight even really begins. Meanwhile, Mano pops that Primal Rage. Back onto Seagull again. There's the ice block. Seagull's gonna regain some health, jump back out again. Mickey out of his mech, uses that self-destruct. Mano's gonna take the high ground for a second. AKM dropping Mecca with the Death Blossom. And so Dallas manages to muscle their way in there, win the fight, and take the point.
And not only that, they get a lot of the ultimates out of NY. XL also. Libero, Animo, and Sabilby all heading back towards their spawn right now. Have to wait for those tanks to get back up. And Dallas Fuel about to take a lead here when it comes to those control percent. So a lot of these dragged out fights have actually resulted in quite a significant amount of objective time for the Dallas Fuel, even if they've been losing these fights.
Yeah, for sure. Libero somehow has his barrage again. I swear the guy just always has the ultimate. Coalescence used. There, oh, Harry Hook's gonna fall though to the pulse bomb. Seagull blocks off one path of entrance. They're gonna look at the other door, but NYXL being patient, waiting for the ice wall to go down, and the barrage coming in. Seagull tries to get up there. He does manage to block enough rockets for Libero to kill himself again. Nice wall, setting up Mano for the pin. Coco, though, too low health, and Meko just runs him over. Meanwhile, Seagull, once again, the last man standing on the point.
Jonak's volley at point blank.
That does it.
Perfectly timed to headshot Seagull as he exits the ice block, but 98% taken by the Dallas Fuel, so still a realistic shot for them to win on Village. They have been really good on this point because of their expertise in this composition. Only other team that's run something like this has been the Houston Outlaws. The Texas Special, we'll call it.
There you go. Primal Rage for Mano. Coco bounced back here. Dallas nearly has a point back again, charging through. Oh, he's gonna get somersaulted back. Jonak right there. Got him with the kick in the end, I think.
Sabilby was gonna be pinned, and he still managed to kill him mid-charge.
It was close, man. Meanwhile, Dallas, they do manage to flip it back. They're at 99% right now. Mano gets the kill on the Seagull early, and it looks like New York trying to grind it back, but AKM with a couple kills on the Reaper. I'll go down though. Sabilby gets 2 with that pulse bomb. Mickey finished off by Libero. And New York, again, just cannot be displaced. They will take the point back again. Not quite to 90% yet. Still a few more percent to go.
Yeah, you'll notice they're going to start playing very aggressively again, though, because they can really delay this slow composition from getting onto the point. And Jonak going to get a few shots onto Harry Hook. Sabilby will finish him off.
I mean, Harry Hook was trying to get there. You can't blame him for that. Meanwhile, Libero just comes in, and they're going to get that barrage.
There's a zoning barrage at the end.
I guess so. Either way, New York takes Village.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that kill from Jonak onto Coco.
All right.
And see what happened at the end of this one, because he did get a pin here, and you'll notice, I think he picks up Sabilby, and then in his back with the Orb of Discord, he gets smacked back by Mano, and then destroyed from behind. So Jonak saving his Tracer player.
And that's why he was part of that chat about the MVP. This guy makes the plays.
He is certainly a very reasonable contestant for the overall MVP, particularly if New York continues to excel in this league.
Here we go again, triple tank with Bastion. AKM playing that one for Dallas Fuel. New York with a bit more of a normal comp. Save will be over on the 76.
Coco and Mickey on barrier tanks. So Arisa and Reinhardt, they are, I don't know what to call this. It's not a pirate ship because they're not moving.
I mean, I don't know. You call it the Bastion, I guess. It's descriptive enough. Libero takes on Mickey, though. And already, the siege is pretty successful for New York. They broke it through the walls. There goes Coco and Harry Hook. And that's going to be Dallas going back to the drawing board. I think we might see some swaps here. That's the kind of strat that really only works if you get there and don't get displaced right away. And yeah, the changes come in for Dallas.
This is just so bizarre because we never see either of these compositions. Pharah Soldier on this point
is odd,
really speaks to New York wanting to take a long-range advantage and slowly chip away at the point itself. Frequently they play Widow and Junkrat, as do most teams on Sanctum, but not today.
AKM over on the Widowmaker to try to take advantage of having that longer range striking ability.
I mean, it's definitely the right choice for a swap, but he still gets descended upon, death from above, courtesy of Libero.
Every once in a while, Libero wants to remind you of just how good of a Pharah he is.
One of the top Pharahs in this league. You look at him, Fleta, an architect for the most part.
Comes in from behind, gets on go right away. Meko, meanwhile, finishes off Mickey. Harry Hook down as well. And Libero, one of the few to live through a barrage. but not too much long after, I guess. AKM with the kill there. They've got the res, though, so New York in a good spot.
Libero's been really popping off this match. On this far, he's done 31% of his team's damage. 23 eliminations, 14 final blows, a paltry 3 deaths.
So many ultimates for New York to use to hold this up until 99% too. Dallas really needs to dig deep. It's Libero sneaking from behind. Oh, he's going after AKM. Backing away, that was a close one.
How many Pharahs do you see trying to do this to a Widowmaker? They're abusing him while he's scoped.
Yeah. Very tricky. He could have taken the kill onto Unko too. Sound Barrier comes in from Dallas. As they charge the point here, they've nearly flipped it already. Echo trying to turn things around with that self-destruct. Seagull down early. Echo gets him with the D.Va ultimate. Meanwhile, Echo finishes off Unko, chases him down with the D.Va as well. Whole hog for Mickey. They do flip the point back at 99 or 96% for Excelsior rather, but New York's still coming out ahead in the fight. They're gonna flip it right back again. And can Dallas even get there? I don't think so. Seagull trying and he can't quite make it. That is going to be another map going the way of NYXL.
The halt stopping Seagull's progress at the very end, so he couldn't boost to the point. Excelsior command Nepal, and they'll push their score on that map to 8-2 on the season.
Behold your
surprise.
It's no surprise at all.
Yeah, that face is pretty accurate.
That's how you feel when that Zen is lurking right outside your ice block. One more map to go here. New York with a few wins already. When we come back, we'll see if they can get the sweep.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
now there's going to be that additional pressure here to stand up and get the job done.
You really see teams pushing each other to a higher level.
How do you continue this momentum right now?
It's like a marathon, you know, you got to be ready to go the distance.
When people talk about history, I want to be in that discussion.
It is something that takes an incredible amount of skill to be the best at.
Well, welcome back, guys. Right now, NYXL with a 3-0 lead over Dallas Fuel. We have one more map to go. There you go. A couple subs coming in first, though.
Yeah, and it is important. I know we go over this, but especially at the end of these stages, every map is really critical. True. And because New York Excelsior currently has a map advantage over the Boston Uprising, of course, they do have to wait for Boston to lose as well as win. New York has to win their match versus Shanghai tomorrow. But if that happens, then they will take first place, most likely.
Now, OGE summing in for Coco with a smile on his face. Good to see that. Meanwhile, Taimu back in, subbing in for Seagull. Ready to go.
I mean, this makes a lot of sense. Without effect here, you want...
Hey, it's Pine.
That's right. Pine coming back in, the big boss. You know, everybody on New York lost all the color in their hair. Pine lost his red hair. Jonak lost his blonde hair. I miss it. I miss the dyed hair colors.
Does that mean it's time for us to dye our hair, Monte Cristo?
Yeah, probably. I'm sure that's what it means, though.
What color would you go with?
I mean, my hair was dyed black for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, what interesting color would you go with?
You don't find that an interesting color?
Not really. A color that is not normally a human hair color.
Oh. So I can't pick silver, even though it would be...
Well, I mean, that's
for someone
not normal
my
for
age.
a younger person,
There you
generally,
go.
But
all right, we'll go with that.
I think that's still cheating, but...
Well, what color would you go with, Doa?
I would go with gold. No, actually, I'd go green. Never mind. I changed my answer.
Your hair is already blonde.
Yeah, but it's not gold. Green sounds good, though. Here we go. Pine, levitating on top of the other. Oh, no, he fell off. Oh, he's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. And the high shot from Pine doesn't find a kill there. NYXL on the defense. Dallas on the attack. It's going to be Tracer Widow v Tracer Widow once again as we get things started here on our fourth and final map, Route 66.
So we'll see if the Dallas Fuel, Taimu coming back in, of course, makes sense. AKM is the de facto Tracer player right now for this roster, while Effect is still in Korea.
Yep.
And that means Taimu comes in on the Widowmaker because it will just be Tracer Widow attack defense no matter what happens for both of these teams.
Yeah, pretty much. The cart rounding the bend. And Pine with a couple shots. So here we go. Tactical crouching to save his life. He manages to make it out. Oh, but Taimu not so lucky. Oh no, Pine! It's Pine time! And it's Pine time!
The Pine time is real. Gets stopped by OGE. But that's okay. He'll just get revived. Choose to revive him instead of Mono.
Rise
why
from
not?
your grave.
Mickey staggered late, so they know they're going to have a 5 versus 5 here by the time Mono gets back. A 6 versus 5 eventually for the NYXL.
And every once in a while, Pine forgets he's playing an Overwatch League match and thinks he's just on his stream. And he's like, all right, gonna kill everybody. Jonak just domes Taimu as well. As you do. Love Diva. All right, and the battle begins. Oh, Taimu again. It's the same arc. It's the same shot every time from this guy.
He's looking for supports now.
He's in a little bit of trouble, though.
Does get dissuaded by OGE and Mickey, and now they're starting to pick up some good kills. AKM.
Yeah.
With a pulse bomb onto Animo and the finish onto Mono.
Well, AKM coming through big time there.
The Mono Animo double.
Mono Animo, not hard to say at all.
Bananimo.
Phenomenal. You get the idea. Dallas Fuel crushes that team fight. They will take point A, it looks like. I don't know. Well, they could probably delay. Sableby might be able to get there. Yeah, actually, they get Mano there, but he doesn't last very long. Taimu does get the kill on the Pine, too, so New York in a bit of disarray here as they try to defend. They will be eating up some time off the time bank, at least. And Mickey taken out by Mekko's self-destruct, but Dallas does grab point A.
Yeah, maybe not the highest value use of ultimates from the NYXL. Having the Valkyrie and the self-destruct used for virtually no gain. Dallas Fuel only losing their Diva ult in the process, so they'll just keep moving here, keeping Route 66 alive. Taimu nearly killed.
That was a close call. Barely lived. Both Widowmakers using that infra sight to give their teams that vision. All right, Transcendence, but it doesn't save Harry Hook. He gets taken down by Jonak. And now Pine under pressure again. Backs off. Mano gets a couple kills himself. And Pine again, looking for more. OGE on that Winston. Going after Pine, getting chased down. Pine in a lot of trouble here. He's gonna get roasted in the end as Dallas backs off. OGE can't make it out himself. That's a pretty big stagger for Dallas to deal with.
Yeah, credit to AKM though. He's now taken Animo down with back-to-back pulse bombs and cut off a lot of the NYXL's healing.
True.
Didn't end up winning the fight that time, but did in the first attempt. So he has that target. Animo needs to be very careful about AKM's Tracer on the flanks.
Xavier will be with his own pulse bomb ready. AKM playing a dangerous game. Entering the sights of Pine. Ooh, lucky that Winston shield was there. Waiting for it. Waiting for anyone to jump on the payload. Waiting for Taimu to show his face back there. Taimu does get the kill into Jonak though. Oh, and Meko goes down too. So Dallas coming out ahead a little bit in this fight. But now Mano gets Taimu way in the back.
He chased Taimu so far with that Primal Rage, and now he's making his return to the payload. It's AKM, Mickey, Unko, and Harry Hook only right now.
Yeah, well, they are getting some distance on this payload, actually. New York without a lot of people who can contest this. Mano finally gets back there. That shield's so annoying to deal with. Now it drops. Taimu again. Pine finds his mark. Gotta watch out for the self-destruct. Pine on the other side of the cart, though. He's gonna be okay. And that's a big fight for NYXL. That's a team kill.
Both players had the infrasight up, and Taimu still lost that peak battle. He is playing aggressively into Pine right now.
Yeah.
Pine's crosshairs, however, in the but no.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I felt like I saw the silhouette of Zen moving through there, but Taimu killed off again. Like, I know Taimu likes to take these fights, man, but it's just getting too painful.
Oh my.
Oh no. He's gonna feel that one in the morning.
It definitely is. Pine
have a pulse bomb.
Dominant on this Widowmaker on Route 66.
Yep. And pretty much every other map. Wow. Well, what can you say?
Not much. Waiting for Dallas Fuel to regroup and make an offensive. Meko's going to kill OGE, who's split off from the rest of his team.
This fight's barely getting out of spawn. They're spawn camping him now.
I'm going to try and, Taimu rather going to try and rotate to the opposite doorway.
Yep.
Hasn't had a whole lot of luck coming down that valley and attacking into Pine. They've got one assault left, but they have plenty of ults, so there is still hope here for the Dallas Fuel.
They can get close anyway. I think Meko kind of taking a shot to give a chance to Pine to find that shot, but he's looking for the Tracer instead. AKM lurking from behind. They're trying to pinch Pine off here. AKM, getting a little bit closer. Something to worry about anyway. OG with the Primal Rage gets the kill into Jonak, actually. There's one. Dallas needs a lot more, though. Harry Hook pops the Transcendence, or not the Transcendence, the Valkyrie. Trying to keep his team alive. Self-destruct coming in. Pine looking for a few more shots, and now it's a close range Widow battle. Oh, but Meko right there to make it a bit unfair. Both tanks trying to help out their Widows. Nobody's dead yet. Taimu down, Meko gets him. And we're into OD. Dallas in dire straits on the attack. Mickey back in his mech again. They gotta keep people on the payload now, and it's only Mickey at the moment. Unko jetting back with that Transcendence, but there goes Mickey. And it's not many members remaining for the Dallas Fuel. That's gonna be it for their attack. Only a little bit through B. Everybody kind of chuckling though. I mean, Taimu, maybe not chuckling quite as much. That was a rough Widow v Widow.
That was, so, and it looked so promising. Dallas Fuel started strong out of the gate, quickly capped A, but they just didn't have anything left by B. They couldn't actually enter that part of the map really without getting decimated by Pine's Widowmaker.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to even start an attack without having a player already down.
That's the thing, is AKM was making a couple good plays here and there on the Tracer, but there's only so much you can do, and Pine is just sitting back there picking off your teammates one by one.
And zoning you out, especially that last fight. Sure. Pine was just using the Venom Mine to track where the Tracer was and holding him in that choke point because he knew AKM was so far away from the rest of his team.
That's right. Well, NYXL, again, not a whole lot to do on their attack run. They just have to go through point A and just a little ways through B, about maybe halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through.
A little over.
Approximately, and we're not going to see anything special, I think, from the NYXL. If they have strategies that they're saving, they will be saving them for the stage playoffs.
I would imagine that's probably the wise move, is you've got some softer opponents this week. And, you know, like you said, with Boston up there undefeated right now, New York just wants all the map wins they can get, because if Boston does lose to the Gladiators, it's going to come down to map differential, and New York in a position to take the #1 spot with that.
Oh yes, a very good position. It's if they 4-0 today, it's going to be almost impossible for them to lose the map differential advantage, even if they do end up tying in match score.
Pretty much. All right. NYXL on the attack. Animo with the Sonic Arrow coming out of spawn just to kind of check where things are at. I think they actually had Mickey out there to eat it, though.
He did actually get hit by the Sonic Arrow. So
did he? Okay.
Yeah, they saw him.
I think the plan was to eat it. I saw the defensive matrix for a second.
Yeah, Fresh Pine sent, Fresh Pine kills. 5 of his final blows out of 12 were on Taimu.
Yeah, we certainly saw that, didn't we? Pine looking for another one. Taimu exchanging fire. Pine takes a second to shoot into the easier targets of the tank. Seimubi gets AKM in the Tracer duel, though. Taimu took a big hit. They got that Winston shield to try to protect him now. Firing away at it.
Yeah, they're just getting herded into a corner for the tanks, though, and that's when we're going to see them go in.
Jonak got rezzed. He was down via Taimu for the moment. But right away, they got him brought back up again. Mickey out of the mech. Taimu down. Mano get a kill there. Pine with another one onto Mickey himself. And that payload's pretty much through point A.
I mean, what do you do if you're Dallas there? You have no pressure now that AKM is dead. You can't revive him, so you get herded into a corner, and that's when Jonas and Meko go in, target somebody together, and take you down. First kill again onto Taimu.
I mean, you blink and you miss it, right? And Taimu doesn't have his infrasight yet.
Oh,
go! Taimu!
His crosshairs move so fast.
Well, he plays on that higher sensitivity, too, so it really is crazy to watch him compared to other Widows. I don't know how he manages to be that accurate.
I don't think anybody does, though. It's absolutely ridiculous, the shots that he's been managing to hit tonight. Throughout Route 66, he's at a 26% critical accuracy.
That is absolutely insane. Hashtag just Pine things. That damage boosted as well. Animo right there. Uonko takes a hit. The knee was exposed. The danger of every Zen. The cross-legged floating position is risky. Oh, Taimu. On the roof, he gets him again. Pine finds the kill. Jonak, meanwhile, kills off AKM. Harry Hook there with the res onto his Widowmaker, but Pine back again. He's going close. Oh, and Mickey there to slam him down. But Pine falls on point B on Route 66, and your team wins anyway. Does it make a sound?
I don't think it does. And look at that. You see the Primal Rage used just to stay alive and on the payload. And that's it. I mean, blinking you miss some of these maps, honestly. NYXL, they looked a bit shaky at the start of Stage 3, but boy, do they look back in form right now.
I mean, yeah, this is quite the DPS effort for NYXL. Save will be coming up big, and of course, Pine, man, nobody hits shots like that. And just the speed at watching this guy move around the game, looking around the screen, it's really something else to see.
I mean, how fast he flicks. You saw when he's at close range in those Widow duels and he's jumping, he takes his shot and then is moving his character just to disrupt the aiming of the other player on the headshot. It's really, really impressive to watch.
Yep. Let's send over to the desk to get the breakdown on that series.
Thank you so much, fellas. Nothing like a Taimu Pine hug at the end. Love these guys.
He needed that one. It was bad. It was 7-1.
Pine's like, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
You just can't have that face anymore. I need to take it from you. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights here from the second half. New York Excel crushing through with the 4-0 today. As we take a look back, you saw Coco coming in. We saw the May, we saw the Reaper once again from Dallas.
Exactly, we saw the May Reaper come out, and they were pretty close to getting this village stage. In this fight particularly, I think, or the next fight, they used double support element, and they were on the end of actually winning village. It could have been a lot closer. And then obviously a Sanctum on Nepal. It's a bit up in the air, it's a bit odd composition. You play the Orisa, the Roadhog, the Junkrat, And so I think that Dallas Fuel has a fair chance to actually win this Nepal map, but then you get onto Route 66, and I mean, things just get out of control.
That play right there, I think, is a perfect description of New York Excel. They hit you from all angles, even when you think you're winning. As we take a look at Route 66, what were the best parts for you, Crumb?
It was the Widowmaker. We were just in the stands watching, and Johnny was mentioning, all right, let's look at the player cams as they start playing.
I just looked at Timus player cam all game.
It is ridiculous. First of all, Pine, when he goes off,
he's playing like a tracer on Widow.
It's not fair, okay? Let's be real. If you're playing against him and you don't have the teamwork or the skill, it's just not.
That's in their spawn, dude. It's in the spawn.
This is not.
I'm sorry, Flatta. I'm sorry, I think, sir. Pine, he is.
We got a new favorite. Side players on the back burner now. You just forgot about Side, just like that.
You're gone. It's all Pine.
It's all Pine, man. I'm sorry. Well, we love seeing Pine, and hopefully we see him in their second match of the week. Remember, New York Excel still trying to challenge for that #1 spot. For now, though, we close out the night with our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP.
The second sniper in the team.
Second sniper. It's JJ. Jonak getting the job done.
Hey, they call him JJ. His teammates call him JJ. That's how we're saying it. But yes, if you are against New York, you have to now, you got to deal with the best Tracer, one of the best Tracers. You got to deal with one of the best Widows. You got to deal with one of the best Señatas.
This is my favorite. I'm never ice blocking against Jonak ever when I run into him on the ladder.
It's so hard, but Jonak plays using mostly right clicks, which means that he needs a lot of predicting ability to be able to know where his opponents are going to be and pop out. And that's what makes him so powerful, because he gets these frags, because his right clicks are so on point. And once again, I think this might be the record for Jonak, the fact that he's almost doubling his damage of his healing.
I wouldn't say that there. We'll check in with Captain Planet, but yeah, Jonak making some ridiculous numbers today. Stage 3 standings, that's what we got to close out the show with. We got to update everyone on this playoff race. New York is in, Boston is in, Los Angeles Valiant, you are now in the top 3. You are moving on to play on Sunday.
And it could be the Gladiators as well.
Absolutely. Gladiator's still in the hunt.
Yes,
Johnny, I thought you were going to follow that up, but we're just going to take the one sentence and done.
It's been a long day, Bucket.
Absolutely. Seoul and Philly still in the mix, though, and they are hoping for Boston to come out and crush the Gladiators once again. New York, they're hoping for Boston to slip up so they can steal that #1 seed and get the first pick of who they face off against in the semifinals. And the Gladiators, they're feeling pretty confident against the Boston Uprising tomorrow. Up to us to put an end to this winning streak, eh?
Oh my,
hey, I'm gonna say, that's not the players, man. That's the social media team throwing some
out there.
That is clearly short for. That is short for on the team social media. I've talked to them. That's not how it went down. All right, guys. Closing it out. Best moment of the day for you, Johnny on the spot.
The Pine Widowmaker. Are you kidding me?
Great answer. Johnny on the spot's getting better at this. What about you, Crumbs on the spot?
Boston going to 5 games and being able to take out the Valiant. You didn't see that one coming.
You did call it Game 5. We got it. If you missed any of the matches, make sure you check out all of the VODs on OverwatchLeague.com. We got some awesome articles as well up there from our friends Harsha and Captain Planet. But tonight, no, we ignore Sideshow. But tonight, we're closing things out here on the Twitch All Access Pass. It's SBB Sabi Olby. The King is going to be on our AMA answering your questions. Let them know. What are your thoughts? What do you want to see from them in the future? Is New York Excel going to make it back-to-back stages? Ask them all the good questions. That's going to do it for us tonight, tomorrow, and on Saturday it's Golden Boy, but I'll be back on Sunday for the playoffs. I'll see you then.